Okay, we're going to go back up the agenda to the board book presentation, and Mike, I'm going to let you drive. And Kevin, if you want to give a little brief to the people that are watching.
With board book, like for example, this month, we only have one meeting. We have a lot of items that need to be covered. Our board packet in hard copy format was close to 300 pages. The amount of time and paper used to compile, copy, toner, man hours, it's not very efficient. So the purpose of looking at board book, we did some reviewing of this when we were at the III conference. I've talked to District 96 users, District 100 Brooklyn, several other districts that are moving to some type of online board packet. So what this would eliminate is when Mary Ann generates the one packet, and then instead of having to copy it and sort it and stuff it and have somebody from Aramark deliver it to each house, we would just send out a general email that the agenda and the packet is online at board book, and the board members can access it right through the RB website. There's been some concerns like, well, what if you don't have internet connection or you lose internet connection at the school district? You can easily save it to a thumb drive or to your iPad or to your desktop, and then you could just open it up off the desktop without an internet connection, simply by just using an Adobe reader. And the other thing that's neat about this is that this would replace on our web page eventually, under board meetings, there'd be a link for board book for the public, and right when they click on it, it would have an organizational, so that all our meetings are archived, minutes, agendas, agenda packets. It's also easier for board members to go back through archives, through packets, so we don't have to save stuff in boxes or in our attics, and can just go back and review sets of minutes or packets or agendas. So with that being said, I'll let Mike do a brief introduction.
All right, I'm going to call up Mike Elder. He's the representative from Board Books. The way we have it set it up is if you have any questions, we have a microphone, and just let me know, and I'll come by and give you the microphone. You can answer questions.
Mike, will you be using any of your board book presentation on that screen?
Yeah, I'm going to switch it right now.
So I think one of the cameras should be focused on. Okay.
Please enter your conference code now. We're connecting you to your conference, which is already in progress. There is one other party on the call at this time. You are joining the call as a guest. You may touch #0 at any time for conference help.
Hello?
Good evening. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike, how you doing? We're here with the RV board and ready for your presentation.
Wonderful. Okay. First, can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Very well.
Coming through okay? Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds really good on my end. Well, thank you, everyone. It's a real privilege to be here at your meeting. I wish I could be there in person, but this is the next best thing. I'm here tonight to provide an introduction of Board Book. Board Book is a program for saving school districts a considerable amount of time and resources in creating and distributing board meeting information. And tonight we're going to look at the board member view and the public view of Board Book. I know you have a full agenda, so I'm going to get right into this. It'll only take me about 10 to 12 minutes to walk through a presentation here, and then afterward I'll open it up for any questions. So up on your screen, you're seeing the Board Book homepage. That's boardbook.org. At the top, you'll find our toll-free support number. If you have questions or need additional training at any time, you can reach us at this number. Over here on the left, you have a member login button. And you can log into Board Book anywhere you have internet access. It works well with PCs, mobile devices. We'll take a look at a screenshot slideshow of what it's like to use an iPad. I know some of you may be using iPads, in fact tonight even. Once you're at the login screen, it helps to create a bookmark or a favorite on your browser. Up here I have a button to log into Board Book. I just click that and log in. So to create a favorite, you can simply go to Favorites and add to your Favorites bar, add to Favorites.
Gary and Tim, if you want to see
And
that, you can
as
scroll
board
down.
members, each of you would have your own unique
Right.
user ID and password. Okay, and upon logging in, you will see a very simple, easy-to-use menu. The most recent meetings will appear at the top. Over time, we're going to store years' worth of meetings that can be searched on. You'll also be able to filter them by year with this toggle over here. Before I look at a meeting, I want to point out one tab here, the Resources tab. Before we started this evening, I added a few additional resources for you. These are links or files that aren't really meeting specific, but that you may refer to from time to time. Examples could be your board policies, or some training handouts here. Here's your board policies coming up. Okay, things like this. What I've added here are 4 additional handouts for using Board Book. Some of you may be using PCs. You'll find this Adobe Reader X handout very helpful. It talks about the navigation of Adobe Reader X. I have Adobe Pro here, so I have quite a few buttons and commenting tools, but the new version of Adobe Reader does provide commenting capability in its free version, sticky notes and highlighting. So this is a good resource. You will also have just a basic handout of logging in and navigating Board Book. We're looking at this live tonight. And then a couple of handouts for iPad users, which we'll look at in just a moment. I'm going to go back to the Home tab, and we're going to look at the board packet for tonight. So to access your meeting materials, you simply click the meeting date. And usually you will go right to Board Book or Quick View as board members. Even if you want to print the agenda, this is a very helpful tip. Print the agenda from your Board Book rather than the notice link. The notice is your simple agenda, but if you print I have many board members that if they print anything at all, they're not printing 281 pages here, but they're printing just the agenda pages that show these page number references here. So you have 3 pages to your agenda. If you print from your Board Book, you would want to print pages 1 through 3. Okay, you might find this helpful. You can have at least something to write on and look down at your desk at the page number references while navigating the electronic packet. Of course, if you're really, over time, you get really good at these page number references and bookmarks, you may not need that, and you'll be able to take electronic notes as well. Navigating your packet is really easy with these bookmarks or page number references. I like using the page number references with this top bookmark over here, the agenda. You can simply identify a page number reference and type it in on your toolbar and click enter on your keyboard and it takes you there. We're numbering the pages at the bottom. I think you may be looking at a printed version of this, so if you do have to print the entire packet, it's just one print action. You're printing the entire thing. It's collated and we're numbering the pages. I'm going to go back to the agenda, clicking the top bookmark. So there's no right or wrong answer here. It's whatever you're comfortable with as far as bookmarks and page number references go. Okay. These are all clickable links over here. Okay. The packet can easily be saved and annotated. If I want to add a sticky note, I'm just clicking sticky note up here. Adobe Reader X, it looks a little different. It's actually easier to use. You have a comment button over here in the upper right. highlight text as well. Okay. If I've annotated a packet, I can save that. I believe Mike will be going over a process later for backing these up, but these can easily be saved. Typically, you'll save this prior to coming into the meeting. Once you've done that, you don't have to rely on having internet access, okay? And you're saving it as one simple file. All these different attachments are converted into this one PDF. Okay, I'm going to minimize this. We're going to come back into Board Book, talk a little bit about Quick View. If you're not really a note taker and you have internet access in the boardroom, you might like this view. You can simply click a file when you need to look at it, and it opens that page. You can look at what you need to and close it and carry on with the agenda. You do have to have internet access, though, when using Quick View. It's always a good idea to save your board book as a backup in case you lose that internet access in the boardroom. And you have another opportunity to do that here with this tab on Quick View. You can download and save your packet. Okay. In fact, I think a really helpful tip is when you first log in, go to Quick View right away. That comes up without downloading anything. If you need to look at something quickly, you could do so. And then from here, when you click Save Board Book on a PC, you're going to get a progress window. It'll show you how long it's taking to download that file. Okay. Okay. Regarding searching, the way I like to search, I go right to the advanced search screen. I don't even type in any keywords up here. I just click the magnifying glass, and that takes me to the advanced search screen where I have filters. And let's see, here's an example. If I'm looking for recognition summary in May, I can type in a few keywords. I want all of these keywords, or perhaps I'm looking for an exact phrase. And if you isolate it to just attachments, or perhaps later you're searching approved minutes, this will help narrow down the duplication you may see in your results here, and get you right to the document that you need to. So here's a document that I was looking for. Okay. So the words within the document here are searchable. Okay. I want to mention, let's see, iPads work great with Board Book. Because we convert everything into that one file, it makes it really easy to save and navigate on your iPad with the page number references and bookmarks. Here in your Resources tab, you'll find a handout using Board Book with an iPad Basics. This is a real simple 10-page slideshow showing what it's like to use Board Book on an iPad. First thing you want to do is install a PDF app. Adobe Reader is a real simple app. They now offer commenting capability, sticky notes and highlighting, a signature stamp in their free app, so that's really good news. For those wanting more robust annotation tools and the ability to password protect save files, we would recommend GoodReader. I think most of our users are using GoodReader. This is a $5 app. The Adobe Reader app is free. Okay. There's a couple of other choices here that some of our users are using as well. Once you've installed the PDF app, your next step is simply adding a button on your home screen. So it's easy to log into Board Book. And to do that, you simply open your Safari browser, go to boardbook.org, touch Member Login, and then add to home screen. And that'll add that button right on your home screen, and then all you have to do is touch it, log into Board Book, and as we were looking at live, you simply touch a meeting date. Going to Quick View here, you can navigate very easily within the Safari browser using Quick View to save your packet, touch Save Board Book. That downloads that full packet into the browser. Then you would want to go to the top here. This is an important step for saving it. There's a button that says Open In, and you can save that in whatever PDF app you're using. You simply touch the app, and that action saves the packet. For those that want to learn more about annotating a packet or some more robust capabilities, there's a handout here for Goodreader. And this gets into, this is a 25-page slideshow, but this gets into how you can easily navigate the packet with your bookmarks. There's a button here at the bottom to navigate your bookmarks. There's a slide. You can easily maneuver around your page number references with the slide. As you move it back and forth, it shows you what page number you'll land on. And then over here on the right-hand side, you have commenting tools. You can annotate a packet just like we were doing live with Adobe. I can add sticky notes, highlights. With my finger, I wrote the word freehand across this page. There's a nice button in Goodreader on this book that shows your annotations. It's an annotation summary. So if you've made a note in a packet, you simply touch that annotation and it takes you to that page in the packet. There's some additional pages on how you can organize your saved packets and password protect them here at the back, which I won't go into tonight. Okay, so this is the board member view. I want to talk briefly about how the public can benefit from Board Book as well, and then we'll open it up for any questions.
Hey, Mike.
With Board Book,
Mike,
yes.
Is there any kind of questions or?
Any questions?
I have a question.
Do we want to take
You can just
questions
ask-
now
Mike, you can
for the
just
board
ask.
members?
Yeah.
When we're saving them, they're saved,
Okay.
there's no way to save it in board books, right? You have to save it on, your demonstration on saving documents, you cannot save them within the board book application. You can only save them on a PC or whatever piece of equipment you're using.
That's correct.
So
Yeah, think
if
of it like
people
a
want to,
personal. Mhm.
so the board book is only for access availability. If you were going to put notes and save it, you'd either have to save it on a stick and remember to bring it, or have it on your same computer all the time, right?
Either that or backing it up within Dropbox, for example, or I believe you were going to use a Google application to do
Google
that.
Drive through our email system has
you
an
can
option.
show us
to-
Is another option. But think of your packet as a personal paper packet. It's not going back up in Board Book. It's being saved locally. Could be on a USB drive. Many of our board members use that. Or they'll email it to themselves or back it up in Dropbox or Google.
We got another question, Mike.
Okay. Go ahead.
When you save the meeting or the PDF file to your PC or whatever piece of equipment you're doing, is it word searchable once you save it?
It is within Adobe. Let's see. Let's pull up the packet here. You have a find window here that you can search through this packet. Okay. And you'd be searching any electronic document. If you can highlight the words on here, then it would be searchable. There's a few scans in here. Those would not be searchable, okay, with this find button. Over time, I think more people, or people that provide material for the packet, will get used to creating electronic documents instead of sending paper to Marianne, which has to be scanned.
And that's part of the process that we're working on right now. So as I'm speaking to the board, is that's one of the other issues, that Mary Ann will get multiple files in hard copy version, or, because it needs a signature or to show a signature, and then she has to scan them. So there's additional, we're trying to get not only the board to go green and be more efficient, but also the administration.
Any other questions?
Mike, it's really, I don't know if you have asked him, how are we going to make sure that this data is protected? I mean, we all have the same password right now, I presume we'll
You
get...
got individual passwords. Everyone's going to get individual passwords. This is just for the demo. We set it up everyone.
But it has a lot of confidential
It's real
information
stuff.
available right now still.
Well, only you guys have that password right now.
Okay.
So, and this is just set up right now. Eventually, if we decide to go with this, will this be our website or will we start from scratch? Like,
No, the material you've done in the demo account can be transferred over. You could even add past meeting information. Some of our users, when they start Board Book, they'll add approved minutes from previous meetings just to create a search archive. I wouldn't go back and recreate board packets that weren't done in Board Book, but it's pretty quick and easy to add approved minutes for previous meetings.
you got another question?
So if the public is going to link to the board books, the materials that are given to us for closed session are in our packets. The first question would be, how are those protected and isolated out from what the public sees? And then you did mention something about approved minutes. Do we need to swap them, or is there a separate category for, where are most boards putting their approved minutes?
That's a great question. First, regarding approved minutes, once they're approved, there's a very simple button within Board Book in the compiler view. This is what Mary Ann would see, where approved minutes can be added directly to the meeting date. For example, this June meeting, you are approving minutes for May 8th. Okay. These don't change. These don't get swapped out typically. Usually don't change your original board packet. But you would rather add the approved minutes directly to the date. So underneath Quick View, you would see a new link that says approved minutes. So they're tied directly to the meeting date. Later, if you need to refer to the May 8th minutes, you go right to May 8th. You don't have to hunt through a June packet to find them. That also enables the search filter here. On our advanced search screen, there's a checkbox where you can isolate approved minutes. Regarding the public display, behind the scenes, there is a way that Mary Ann can easily not show information that shouldn't be on the public link. In fact, you can see an example of that with your demo that we set up here. So as board members, you have access to all of your meeting documents here. What the public would be seeing would look like this. So some of them are showing, but not all. Okay. For example, right here, this is what the public sees. All board members have full access to those files here.
Any other questions? Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
I think that's about it. Thank you for your presentation.
Thanks a lot, we appreciate it, Mike.
Okay, thank you all very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Mike, you had talked,
Go on.
go ahead, you want to cut off, we're done. Mike
The
Connors.
host has left the conference. The conference will end in 5 minutes.
Mike, you had talked, so a couple things for the board. First of all, maybe not everybody has access to a laptop. We have laptop stations set up for 3 board members tonight. In the event you have no access to a laptop or you need a laptop set up, we do have about 6 or 7 laptops that teachers sign out throughout the day. So Mike would have them so that they're able to be used for the board meeting, so when you'd show up, you could just log in and access your agenda or plug in your USB drive. The other thing that Mike was going to talk about with your Google email accounts, you all will have access to Google Drive. which is a 5 gigabyte. Basically, it's like a cloud USB drive. So if you wanted to, you can be at home, make some notes on your agenda, save it to your Google Drive through your RB email account, and when you get here, just have to access it one time, and then once it's uploaded, you wouldn't need the internet access. So if you had to worry about saving it on a flash drive.
And will you show us to do that? Will you send us
Yeah.
instruction on it?
Actually, I talked with Dr. Skinkus about perhaps if certain board members needed help, maybe setting up some time individually, you know, if you bring your laptop in or something like that, and we can go over a couple of things, how to save it, how to use Google Drive, things like that.
Okay.
Do you have instructions like you have for the email that you could send us to see if we can figure it out, Mike? Or was it on that instruction?
And a lot of the stuff that I have from him is also on our website, but I was going to email some of the stuff. I modified it a little bit to kind of go
I meant
over
for
how
the
our setup
Google-
is.
For the Google
Drive?
Drive.
Yeah, we're in the process of making some documentation.
Okay.
It's relatively new, it just came out last month, so
Okay.
we will create some documentation
Thank
for
you.
that.
Anything?
If we already have a Google account, does the Google Drive recognize our other account, or is that separate?
I'm not sure how we can, it would probably be easier just to use your your school account. But I'm not sure, I'd have to take a look at it and see if there might be a way to get both of them to be able to see each other and,
Okay,
so
so
you can have access to that.
they're separate then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other
So did I understand that the Google storage, you're only seeing your stuff, right?
Right.
Because we have this whole issue of communicating outside a public meeting, and so therefore we really shouldn't be seeing each other's work product.
No, it's your own space. It's your
Own
own
space.
space unless you decide you're going to share it.
It's your own cloud.
Right, it's your own
I
drive
just wanna-
space.
So what we did today, and just to give you an example, kind of how I'm working through it with Matt, is we took the top 3 pages of the agenda, and they have the page numbers on the side. So on that Adobe version that you all have open, then, you know, when we start talking about the consent agenda, you noticed it was on page 60. Then you're able just to scroll down to 60 on the side, or type 60 right in and go right to it. So I think it's going to take us all some time for familiarity. But even for like Mary Ann, as we're talking about things, instead of Mary Ann having to try to pull up a document scanner or save all these additional documents to a thumb drive, which what we did at the last couple meetings, she's following along the meeting on Board Book, but we just have her screen projected so that the audience can see those attachments on the public document section. And this should really help with transparency and communication. We could probably work with Mr. Proke so that one camera would always be set on the screen so that the people watching at home could see the different documents being discussed.
Any other questions for Mike? Mike, thanks a lot. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
Mike's going to stick around for a meeting, just a public session in case anybody has issues with it or goes out or questions.
Okay.